Hi guys, my name is Amanda and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. This is one of those videos that I really debated whether to put it out there or not. Because yes, there's a story I'm about to tell you, but behind the story, there's a lesson. The lesson is in form of a concept that I'm not sure a majority will understand, but also if I'll be able to explain it well enough. But it's a very important concept. And there are very few videos I usually tell you to stay till the end. This is one of them. Please stay till the end because what I'm about to explain to you is extremely important. Let me just share, as sharing is caring, and at the very least, let me spark curiosity in you to go and find out more. So without further ado, here's the story of when I witnessed an injustice. So once upon a time, Amanda was in town. And if you know town, Nairobi CBD, for those who do not live in Kenya, I'm a Kenyan. I live in Nairobi and I was just in town. Usually outside every building in town, there are people who are stationed to get customers for those nail salons huko ndani. Women, you know what I mean. They usually target women, definitely, because they'll be like, hey, sister come tukufanyie nails, ama madam unataka kufanyiwa nails. So when you say yes, they will take you to their nail salons, usually in those buildings. So they are just stationed there to attract customers. So say siku Amanda was just walking in town and I decided to go get my nails done. So I go into the nail salon. They usually have these high chairs in a kitty, and they just do your nails. Sasa kidogo I'm just there seated, and then this man comes and sits next to me. I was like I was taken aback because usually it's women in those nail salons. So to see a man coming to get a manicure, he was getting kwanza a manicure and a pedicure. I was like, wow, this man knows the concept of self-love, you know. I was so impressed, by the way. The one who was doing his nails was a girl. Yeah, she was a girl. She was tiny, she was woye. Yeah, those kinds of people. But she really did good work on this guy, this man's hands and feet. Manicure ni ya mikono, pedicure ni ya miguu. She worked, you people. She put in her effort to scrub that man's feet. And it was quite an extensive treatment because it took like 40 minutes even. And this guy looked like a decent guy. He had a nice t-shirt on, he had jeans on, he had his Nike shoes on. Like, he looked like a decent guy. And then alikuwa anaongea kizungu mingi, making plans on the phone, akipiga kwa ofisi, nini. So he looked like a decent guy, and he tried to create rapport with the chick who was doing his feet and nails. Anamuuliza umetoka wapi, yani they're just making small talk. And he was like, I really like your work, I will come again and again and again, even give me your number. Akasave number yake, yani aliendelea tu kumpraise, akasema hata atamletea clients. You get it? So I was so happy for her because I mean, business is, you want long-term clients. That's what you want in business anyway. And I think they're usually paid on commission, but I don't know. I'm not sure. So I was really happy. I was like, first of all, I was happy with a guy who's taking care of his hands and feet like that. I was happy that this chick had gotten a long-term client and she was happy. And things were good. Things were good. Around 40 minutes later, amemaliza. She's finished the manicure. Mpaka akamweka gel nails. For those who don't know what gel nail polish is, it usually lasts way longer than your normal nail polish. Yeah, both akaekwa the clear one, of course, which makes your nails look shiny. Even his feet was done with the same treatment, and yeah, I mean, she did an awesome job, guys. Mpaka akamvalisha socks because those stools are high, so by the time ufike chini, akamvalisha socks, akamvalisha viatu, she tied the laces, and yeah, he was like, okay, thank you so much, my dear. Can I pay via M-Pesa? And she was like, yeah, you can pay through M-Pesa. So he paid and then he left. He was like, I'm in such a hurry, let me go. So he left. Guys, when the chick went to check the M-Pesa transaction, do you know she found out that this guy had sent 100 bob? 100 bob, guys. And the treatment yenye alifanyiwa was worth 1,000 bob. That's what they had agreed upon. 1,000 akamtumia 100 bob. Yani madharau. And that chick, guys, she had worked so hard to get his feet looking like the way they were looking. She had worked pretty hard, and I felt so bad for her because she was now alikuwa anaambia, because they are usually like a crew of people working together in those salons. She was like, you guys, imagine this guy ametuma 100 bob and tulikuwa tumeagree 1,000 bob. They were like, are you sure mliagree 1,000 bob? Akasema yeah. And to be honest, there's no way they would agree 100 bob. Like, it's not even possible. So anyway, they were like, do this, just give him a call him, and then try and explain to him. So she tries to call and call. He didn't pick up her calls. And that's why you know this person was not genuine from the beginning. Because if it was a genuine person, I mean, he will just pick up the call. It's just that he knew what he had done, that he decided not to pick up that call. She called like 10 times, guys. And every time you could see how heartbroken she was, because you could see her with like balancing tears. Yani, I felt so much pain for her that, and you know, it's not, I don't even think it's like the money itself, it's how someone can lead you on thinking you're on the same page and they were just using you. Imagine that was it. This guy was just using her. He was taking her for a ride, knowing very well that at the end of the service, he's not going to pay for it. Like, he knew, and he decided to create that rapport. He decided to act nice. He decided to just lead her on. That is basically it. Knowing very well he was going to scam her at the end. That is what pains me, and I'm sure that's what pained that girl also, because she literally thought she had gotten long-term client, and that was not the case. So she called, nothing. And this is the first lesson I'm going to tell you guys. If you know you cannot afford something, imagine leave it. It's not a must. People out here are dying because they are dying of stress because they want to live a life beyond their means. What for? Like, literally what for? If you cannot afford it, leave it. It is not a must. Until when you can afford something, then go for it. Otherwise, it's not a must. It's not. So she called, he didn't pick up. She was so disheartened, guys. She was so disheartened. You could see it in her demeanor. You could see the way her spirit had been crushed. And these people work so hard on a daily basis. Aki, it's a lot of work. So you can imagine she's thinking she's done kazi ya 1,000 bob. Then turns out someone conned her and she only got 100 bob. Where this guy literally stole from her. That's what it is. He stole from her and he didn't care. He did not care. If it weren't for that crowd, that chick would be crying her eyes out. The team, the one which is there, her friends, they tried to speak sense into her. No, they tried to encourage her and be like, don't worry, pole sana, things like those. And you could see that they felt her pain also. But she was so crushed. Like, her spirit was crushed. And you don't even know what this person is going through at home, why they need that money, why they are doing what they are doing. And this is someone's hard-earned money you decide to con them out of. Haya, this is where the lessons begin. Please, as I say, listen till the end, and I pray to God that I'm able to explain some of these concepts as simply as I can. Guys, don't you ever do unto someone that which you don't want to be done unto you. There is a reason why this principle is there in every serious religion there is in the world. There is a reason. And unfortunately or fortunately, it's very simplified. It's given to you on a silver platter. Do not do unto others that which you do not want to be done unto you. But it's deeper than that. Even in Islam, it's there. Even in Hinduism, it's there. It's there in every religion. It's just that maybe the wordings are a bit different, but it is the same thing of whatever you sow, you shall reap. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. It is same concept, same principle in just different words. It's the same as give and you shall receive. People think it's just in terms of positive, like positive side of it. Give by helping the poor and you will receive good things. The reverse is also true. If you give hate, you receive hate. If you give love, you receive love. Because it's a golden rule. Do unto others. Do not do unto others that which you do not want to be done unto you. Same as do unto others that which you want to be done unto you. The same thing. That's the golden rule. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. It's the golden rule of whatever you sow, so shall you reap. The golden rule of give and you shall receive. And I wish I could quote the Quran on this, but I don't know how it goes, but it goes something like, and this is just one of it, its variation. It goes something like, you serve God and you do good to people. And then it goes ahead and mentions like your parents, the strangers, your neighbor, your nini. And that's just one verse in the Quran. There are so many. And in Hinduism, it's the same. In Buddhism, it's the same. It's the same concept in many words. So guys, let me ask you, do you think our ancestors, let me call them, our ancestors were foolish? to give us this concept over and over and over again in every religious teaching in the world. Any serious religion in the world has this. There is a reason. Let's cross over to science. It's the same concept as every cause has an effect. This is under the universal laws, people. Under the universal laws, every cause has an effect. And now is when quantum physics is catching up. Literally, now is when science is catching up to some of these spiritual concepts through quantum physics. Hello, I'm back. Mic yangu ilinyamaza. Kalisha charge, but I was like, oh, thank God. We realized like a few seconds afterwards. Otherwise, I could have been talking to myself all this time. Anyway, as I was saying, now is only when quantum physics is catching up to some of these spiritual concepts that we have been told from ages, and now they have proof of it. But guys, do you know, nowadays we usually say ignorance is bliss, right? Kitambo, our ancestors used to say ignorance is evil. Ata Biblia, even the Bible says, my people perish due to lack of knowledge. I don't even think money is the root of all evil. I think lack of knowledge is the root of all evil. If all people understood this concept, this golden rule, on a very deep level, the world will be in a much, much better place. Because all the evils that we do to each other will not exist if you know how important this particular law, because it's a law, it's a principle, it's a rule, it's a universal law, meaning anywhere you go in the universe, anywhere it's in effect, you cannot escape the law. That is the whole point. We usually say that God is love. God is love, God is love. We all saying that God is good, God is love, which is fine. It is very true. But no one wants to say that God is law. Look at the Old Testament. They are filled with laws. They are filled with precepts. They are filled with rules. God is law. So, as you know that God is love, God is good, also know that God is law. That's why it says in the Bible that, hey, watch out and preach. It says in the Bible that, leave vengeance to me, says the Lord. If God equals love, if God equals law, then we can also replace law in that, God in that statement and say, leave vengeance to me, says the law. I hope sijapoteza mtu. So let me tie this all up with the story I just told you. Guys, golden rule applies in this case. Make noise. Golden rule applies in this case. That guy stole from this chick. He stole money that was rightfully hers. Hata kwa commandments it says do not steal. Do not steal, people. There are deeper meanings to some of these statements. Unfortunately, we are never told. It's up to you to go find out for yourself. Because you've already been spoon-fed the principle understand why, the why behind why we are told what we are told. Because some of these things are ancient wisdom from Kitambo, and there is a reason why. So, in the story I just told you, this guy stole from this girl. He stole money, he stole her money. And tying it to this principle, do unto others that which you would want to be done unto you. Also, the reverse, do not do unto others that which you do not want to be done unto you. For every cause there is an effect. So guys, na tumesema there are universal laws, they take into effect. This guy has already sown the seed. He's already, the cause, how do I put this? Oh, God help me explain this. Do not steal if you do not want to be stolen for. The law of cause and effect has already begun. The minute he stole from her, imeanza, it has already taken effect. You may think that this law is like, okay, he stole 100 bob. Now, somewhere, this guy will lose 100 bob. No, it doesn't. It does not work like that. It does not work like that at all. It's more like this guy stole 100 bob from this girl. What will happen down the line is that this other person, this man, will lose something, and it's not added to the equality of 100 bob. No, he may lose some very lucrative deal he wanted, and in terms of money, even in terms of millions. That's how the law works. Because you take, it will be taken from you. If you give, it will be given unto you. You will receive. Whatever you give, so shall you receive. If you steal, something will be stolen from you. Guys, have you ever watched this is anime now. Have you ever watched, for my anime lovers out there, have you ever watched Full Metal Alchemist? In the introduction of every episode of that anime, there's somewhere where they usually say something like the law of equivalent exchange. It is the same law. Yani hata kwa cartoon mnaambiwa kwa anime. Yani this concept to understand is so important, because what will happen, guys, when God says we are co-creators with Him, what He usually means is that you're given the free will of choice. That's how someone starts co-creating a happy, fruitful life. You understand? Because if you do actions without awareness, you create a chaotic life for yourself. Guys, please don't even take my word for it. Do not. I hope you don't even take my word for it. I hope I just spark curiosity in you so that you go and do your own research, and I hope you go down a rabbit hole and you start discovering some of these things on your own. Now, we used to live in flats, sindio? And ground floor, the guys in the flats used to park their cars. Okay, so there's this one day, my dad accidentally knocked off the tail lights of a certain Prado. Of a certain Prado, and Prado tail lights are expensive, people. They're extremely expensive. So this woman was so mad. Alikuja na combative, zile za give me my money, I want to make my tail lights, nini. Vitu kama hizo. So my dad was like, hey, chill, that's fine, I'll give you your cash, but give me a few days. Hey, that 1 week was hell for my dad because this hakuwa anampea peace. There was no peace in his life because of this woman. Guys, again, keep this in mind. Treat others how you'd like to be treated, please. Especially since my dad did not refuse to pay it. He was like, yeah, I'm on the wrong, but those taillights are expensive. Give me time, nijipange, nitakulipa. Anywho, it was hell, and she did not come nicely. Anyway, eventually, my dad did pay her. Alienda akamtengenezeshea gari, that tail lights thing. And wakamalizana hapo. But you see, already she had damaged the relationship as neighbors. She really had. Guys, let me tell you, it was not even a week later. This mama was doing I don't know what kwa balcony yake, na balcony za hizo nyumba zingine they were facing, zilikuwa mbele, like if you look at the flat like this, utaona hapo. So meaning directly chini ni penye magari zimepakiwa. Actually directly chini ya balcony yake ilikuwa gari yake. This mama had flower pots hapo kando on the edge. I don't know what she was doing. She was living on like the second floor. And I tell you, this mama alifanya sijui nini, akaamka akagonga flower pot yake. It went and crushed her windshield. Pop! Broke to pieces. And guess who was chini hapo akiongelesha landlord? It was my dad and landlord. So kukimbia kuangalia juu, waliangaliana hivi. That is cause and effect at its finest, people. It's just that this one did not even take much to go into effect. It's the same law as, can I call it a law? It's the same concept as karma. Now people explain it a bit more simplified. Nowadays, ile ya ukifanyia mtu kitu utafanyiwa. They explain it a bit way too simplified. It's not even a bit. It's way more complicated than that, but the same thing. Like what goes around comes around. Are you seeing the way this same one particular concept is said in so many words? In so many variation of words? In every culture and religion? Because there is a very deep meaning to it. And if you understand it, guys, I tell you for a fact that your life will be way, way simpler, way, way fulfilling, way orderly. Otherwise, if you do not understand it, your life will be chaotic, full of unhappiness, full of being dissatisfied, and you cannot override the law, people. You cannot treat people poorly on one end, and then on Sunday, you are the one who is there jumping, praising God and giving your whole tithe there. You are not exempted from the law, let me tell you. Because it's every action has a consequence. Aki, I pray to God that I've been able to simplify this concept. Basically, please treat people well. That is literally what I'm trying to shout in this video. Treat people well. Not because of anything, but because you do not want your own life to be chaotic. Because you co-create your life, my friend. That is where co-creation comes. You have a choice. You have a choice to not steal from anyone, anything, especially their human rights. If you interfere with anyone's human right, Even do not steal is so broad that when we say do not kill, it is still SDILL under steal STEL, because you're stealing life. Do you anza kushikanisha? You're stealing life from another, which is not your life to take. So guys, I hope I've been able to explain this concept well. I've really tried my best to explain this concept. But I hope I've sparked some curiosity in you to go down the rabbit hole. Decide to find out for yourself. Go read. Go research. Remember, my people perish due to lack of knowledge. Knowledge is power. Lack of knowledge is the root of all evil. Ignorance is evil. Please, 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 please go down that rabbit hole. Just like Alice in Wonderland decided to go down the rabbit hole, go down that rabbit hole and explore and learn all the universal laws you can, because they affect you whether you know it or you do not. Not knowing it is not an excuse, people. It does not mean you're exempted. It just means you decided to stay in your ignorance. So, hey, I feel like I've been talking for 1 hour. I swear. This video was very hard to make because I was trying to simplify things as simply as I can, and so that it's palatable. And that's what our ancestors, our ancient teachers, that's what Jesus did. He tried to explain things as simply as they possibly can, in terms of parables, in terms of stories, in terms of allegories, using stories and pictures to try and explain a very deep concept. That's what allegory means. So people who when you do something bad to someone, note it will always come back to you. Always. And it will come to the measure of what the law sees fit to bring it back to you. Does that make sense? Yeah, like if you decide to do something bad to someone, you have to exchange it somewhere. There has to be balance, my friends. Balance. That's what the law is usually tries to. Acha nisipoteze watu. I hope I have explained it as simply as possible. I hope that you think about every action you take, because there is a consequence to every action you take. Every action you take, there is a consequence. And for your own good, people, it's just for your own good that I am sharing this information, because sharing is caring at the end of the day. Whether you decide to take the information, whether you do not decide to take the information, that is all up to you. Me, I've just given you the information. And thank God there was this story to back up that, to be able to, like as an example. How you treat people, please. Remember, the law is always in effect. Always. Do you think things are coincidences, people? Please, I hope whoever is watching me does not think that life is a coincidence, that everything which happens is a coincidence, because, oh, boo, where do we even start with you? However you treat someone, however that someone feels when you treat them, one day, one time, you will feel exactly the same thing. Omba ukumbuke that one day, sometime back, you treated someone like this, so that you get the lesson. Otherwise, if you do not get the lesson, it continues repeating itself over and over and over again until you learn the lesson. That's why we are here, to learn lessons, people. Anyway, I hope I've said everything. I hope I've simplified that concept as simply as I possibly could. I hope you've gone home with something. Please don't even take me to be saying the truth right now, because I want you to go and research for yourself and to go deeper into some of these concepts. Go very, very deep. That is when you will start seeing patterns in your reality. People, they will start seeing patterns if you understand some of these concepts deep, on a deep, deep level. And when you do, Aki will not do some things. You will not, because you know kipigo ya Mungu, kipigo ya dunia is coming. So anyway, thank you for listening. I think this video is going to be an hour long. Oh my God. And I was like, let it be like 15 minutes long. Ay. But ilikuwa iende, because can you hear how quiet the house is? Ni Mungu. It is God who wanted me to pass this information to you. Because coordinating like 6 people is almost impossible. But today, this time, here we are. Thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for watching this video. If you've stayed till the end, thank you so much. I hope this information will help you, and I hope you share it with others after you go and research and going deeper. Otherwise, I hope to see you in my next video. Nawapenda sana. Subscribe to my channel, please, and bye bye. Bye. I hope to see you in my next